Well, do you have anything else to add?
There's this chair in the middle of the floor.
Jesus, dude.
A few months back, a middle-aged couple moved into a remote cabin near Lake Michigan, hoping for a peaceful retirement after their daughter started her own family. Shortly after settling in, they began experiencing strange occurrences they suspect might be paranormal. At first, unusual sounds outside seemed like animals or creaking branches, but soon they started hearing voices in empty rooms and seeing objects move on their own. One winter night, terrifying noises from the woods woke them up. The husband got out of bed to check, but saw nothing, so he began recording with his phone.
Wait for it. Listen. Trees are just falling left and right. Sounds like a war zone out here. These are the ones that I'm concerned about. Losing whole tree.
Choosing not to venture outside at night, they wait until morning to check things out. Not far from the cabin, they find something deeply unsettling. Dozens of trees have fallen, but they don't appear to have toppled naturally. They look as if some unseen force ripped them from the ground. A few days later, while the wife is home alone, she notices a ceiling light flickering on and off. She begins recording, intending to send the video to her husband.
Day 3 of the weird, strange occurrences at our house. Right now this light has been steadily blinking for about 20 minutes and maybe 10, and I just don't understand why. Okay, now it's like not blinking at all. I guess it's okay now. But that and the hearing the voices and stuff sometimes, and hello? 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 Who's here? Who's here? Okay, I'm kind of freaked out. Going back inside the house. See what I mean though? This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, why is this stuff happening? I'm really thinking about moving away. I think that we should move away. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Terrified by the flickering light, the wife is even more horrified when a chair suddenly moves on its own, followed by a door violently slamming open and shut. She screams and runs, convinced that these events are paranormal, even mentioning the voices and expressing a desire to move out. Afterward, the couple researches the property's history and discovers something chilling. Their home was built on the site of an old shack where a notorious witch once lived, and local legends say she cursed the land before being driven away. Now, the couple believes they are haunted by her spirit and are seriously considering leaving their dream home. This video shows a family of 3 who believe their home is haunted. They've experienced multiple strange events, but one incident stands out. The father starts recording while his son, Rowan, plays in a small pool with his mother. At one point, Rowan looks toward the house and says he sees a man in the window.
And right there in that room, that's where Rowan said that he saw a man inside there, and he sat in the pool right here, and he sat there staring up and he said, "That's a man." And he kept looking in there and said, "There's a man in there." So
later that day, after coming back inside, Rowan goes into the dining room and stares at something for a long time. When asked, he says he can still see the man, describing him as having big black hair, though some of the details don't quite make sense to his parents.
Hurt his brain. He hurt his brain? And then what happened? Did he say anything? He hit his butt.
At first, it might be brushed off as imagination, but the father keeps recording and asks Rowan more questions.
Well, do you have anything else to add? Batman. He apparently sees a man in there. That's a big man. That's a big man?
is he there? What's he look like?
He's an airplane.
He
always says that. He looks
like an airplane.
Another man? He's a black man. He's a black man? Okay, he's a black man. Right?
Rowan walks to the dining room entrance, points to a corner, and says the man is standing right there, naturally unsettling his parents. The next day, the father discovers something that makes them wonder if it's really just imagination.
I just wanted to say that this is the next day after Rowan's been telling us about that ghost that he saw, and we just realized he's been telling us a black man was in here with big hair, with big black hair. And he was in this room, and we didn't know, but we were looking around and we found out that this piece of little furniture, this thing my mom gave us, and we found it in the corner.
It's a unity carving. It's called a unity carving.
It's called a unity carving. See? And it's carved from one piece of wood, and look at this that we found on it, and we didn't even know. But speaking of a black, Ghana is in Africa. So this is, and we looked up. It's made from all one piece of wood. It's like this artistic thing that it's like hard to make or whatever, and they probably get paid very little, which is why they're able to resell these for fairly cheap in the United States. But we think maybe the person who crafted it was the ghost or something, or connected to this. The person connected to this thing was the ghost. Okay, so we just thought I'd add that.
So, what do you think? Could Rowan actually be seeing something real, or is it just a child's imagination? About a year ago, a young man known as Killer Pigeon Studio began noticing what he believes is paranormal activity in his home. Some may remember a few of his clips featured earlier. It all started when he tried a new webcam feature and captured something strange that looked like a face staring at him from one of his kitchen cabinets. From there, things escalated. Objects in his apartment started moving on their own, and he reportedly began waking up with scratches and bruises, as if struggling with something in his sleep. Determined to uncover the truth, he set up cameras around his apartment, which captured genuinely disturbing activity. Since being last featured, he's recorded an even creepier clip. While clothes and hangers moved around in his closet, something else appeared, peeking out at him.
Oh my god, do you guys see that?
He didn't see it at the moment, distracted by the moving items, but when he later reviewed the footage, he was horrified by what he saw. Around 3 a.m., someone walking past a park noticed something strange, a figure on the swings that kept going higher and higher, eventually going all the way around. The footage is dark, so it's hard to tell if it was really a person, but either way, that kind of movement in an empty park at that hour is pretty unsettling. A group of friends from the US discovered this while live streaming together. They all saw something they couldn't explain, leaving them to wonder if it might have been paranormal.
Nah, them trash bags. Who that is? Like Usain Bolt. Hey, wait a minute. Go back to the street. Hey, man. Who that was running through there like Usain Bolt, man? Hell yeah.
I thought I was tripping, dog.
No, you wasn't tripping. They run through that like far as
What the was that?
Intruder alert. Had to be paranormal.
Was that somebody though?
The hell who running that fast? What did you know that quick? Ain't nobody running that fast. What was it running from? You see no pit bull. You run that quick from a pit bull. You see somebody on the street, go the other way.
No, bro.
Go the other way.
I swear, yeah, that way. Somebody just ran down that street, bro.
The cameraman catches something out of the corner of his eye, but it's only visible for a split second, so he assumes he imagined it. It isn't until his friends start panicking that he realizes he wasn't seeing things. One friend insists it must be paranormal, since nothing could move that fast. When he looks around, the road is empty. After the live stream, he replays the footage and slows it down, shocked to see what looks like a pale figure running down the road. Even stranger, the figure seems to vanish into thin air. At first, he tries to blame a camera glitch, but then he notices dust being kicked up along the path, showing something had physically passed by. Paranormal or not, whatever this was, it left evidence. And while some people managed to catch such entities on video, others only get a fleeting photo. In February, a violent armed robbery occurred at Pothead's dispensary on Pleasanton Road, and it was caught on camera. The suspect, Dontavia Mitchell, allegedly pretended he couldn't open the door so an employee would help him. Once inside, he reportedly grabbed the victim, threw her to the ground, and struck her on the head with his which accidentally fired a round into the floor near her head. A second, unidentified suspect entered the store and stole merchandise. Both suspects fled, but after media coverage, an anonymous tip led police to Mitchell, who was arrested and is now charged with aggravated robbery. The status of the second suspect is still unclear. A woman who had been recording a string of strange experiences said she'd felt followed for weeks. One night, while walking past an abandoned house in her neighborhood, she encountered something truly chilling.
I don't know why the lights are on, but I'm going inside of this house. I just heard my sister's voice, and I'm sick of this. And I need to figure out what's going on so I can put a stop to it.
Is this chair in the middle of the floor?
As she got closer, she suddenly froze. From inside the dark, empty building, a voice called her name, sounding exactly like her sister. Confused and shaken, she quickly pulled out her phone to record. Even though the house should have been empty, a chair suddenly slid across the room, moving rapidly toward her as if pushed by something unseen. Terrified, she screamed and ran outside. Could it have been something mimicking her sister's voice to lure her in? This clip follows Tim, whose experiences have been shared before, but this time the story delves much deeper into what he's been facing. Tim works night shifts as a security guard at an abandoned excavation site. He expected nothing more than silence and routine patrols, but things quickly took a disturbing turn.
Shit. Just saw my apple move. Just saw him move. Oh. What do you want? Who are you? Who? What does this mean? What do you want? Why are you playing games? Why did you attack me the other day? What do you want?
A glass sitting on a table suddenly starts moving by itself, leaving Tim questioning what's happening. Then, right before his eyes, the glass shifts again. As time passes, the encounter takes an even darker turn.
No, ah!
First, a loud thud echoes as if something hit the floor. When Tim steps forward to investigate, an unseen force suddenly pushes him from behind, knocking him down. Even more terrifying, it feels like he's being dragged backward by an invisible presence. Shaken, Tim scrambles to his feet and runs, but before leaving the site completely, he sets up a camera facing a sealed section. What it captures next is truly chilling. Determined not to back down, Tim later ventures into the same sealed section. Inside, he sets up a camera, and what it captures remains completely unexplained. This could be the strongest proof yet that Tim was never truly alone. So, what do you think? Was it something paranormal, or is there another explanation? A recent incident in suburban Chicago involved a brazen armed robbery at Arepa Express, a Venezuelan restaurant on Lake Street in Melrose Park that was captured on surveillance video. In the footage, a man entered the eatery several times before pulling out a handgun and holding the owner at point, demanding belongings while customers were still inside.
I thought he was going to shoot me. When somebody pulls out a gun, it's because they're going to use it. I thought, God help me. At the same time, I just told myself to relax. He told me to get on the floor, so I did. After a few seconds, a customer came over to help me get up and tell me that he was gone.
The owner later said he feared for his life as the suspect pointed the weapon at him and stole about $10,000 worth of jewelry, including a sentimental law school graduation ring. The robber had even eaten and paid with a credit card earlier before returning to commit the crime. A customer called 911 after the suspect fled, and police now have a person of interest they believe lives in the area, though no arrest has been announced yet. This clip was recorded by a couple exploring an abandoned building with a dark history in Denver. The structure had served various purposes over the years, but now stood empty. As they moved through it, an uneasy feeling settled over them. The silence felt heavy. While filming, they stepped into a small open area, and that's when something truly terrifying appeared.
What? Hello? Is there someone in there? I am not the police.
Oh, it feels kind of eerie. You get a weird feeling over here, like a weird vibe from this whole place.
Do that whole thing. I'm gonna unlock the door, okay? We can get in, okay, baby?
In the distance, a woman dressed in black stood completely still, staring at them. The most disturbing part, there was no shadow behind her, and her figure appeared unnaturally pale. Then, within seconds, she vanished, leaving the couple shaken, claiming they saw nothing at all afterward. One quiet evening, a man was relaxing in his living room, watching TV and enjoying the calm, when suddenly the silence was shattered. Silverware slid out of a kitchen drawer all on its own.
Oh. What the f? God damn it. This is getting old. What the? You gotta come out. What the? Yes, I'm out of here.
Startled, he paused the TV and went to check kitchen, but it was empty. No open windows, no movement, nothing that could explain what he'd just witnessed. Trying to stay calm, he returned to the couch, only to catch a glimpse of a tall, shadowy figure standing nearby, watching him. Its presence felt heavy and unnatural, as if it didn't belong in this world. Frozen in place, he struggled to breathe, unable to look away. Whatever had entered his home that night hadn't come to harm him. It had come to be seen. A woman living in the United States with her children says strange, unexplainable events have been happening in their home, leading her to believe it's haunted. It began shortly after they moved in. At first, things seemed normal, but soon they started hearing disembodied voices, spotting shadowy figures in room corners, and noticing doors opening and closing on their own. One day, while relaxing at home, she experienced something that sent a chill down her spine, prompting her to record it on her phone since no one had believed her claims about the haunting until then.
Close the door. Can you close the door, please? What the? Come on, let me ask. Open the door if you need help. What the? Oh, they opened it wide as. Oh my God.
Close the door if you need help.
Oh my. What is it doing? What the?
One of the doors starts moving on its own, and eerily, it seems to respond when the woman calls out to it. She asks if it needs help, believing it to be one of the ghosts haunting her home, which is why she speaks directly to it. But the activity doesn't stop with doors. Late one night, while her children are asleep, a game controller suddenly falls from the table, landing just feet away. There's no clear reason for it to fall, and after reviewing the footage repeatedly, she believes something invisible grabbed the controller's wires, almost as if trying to wake the kids. Why the spirit would do this remains a mystery, though some suggest spirits are drawn to children who are more innocent and open-minded, able to sense things adults can't. Animals, too, are thought to have a heightened awareness of paranormal presences that humans might completely miss. Paranormal investigator Adam Mark spent the night in an English house known for a long history of violent hauntings, infamous for reports of an aggressive spirit that terrorized past residents decades ago. Before leaving the next morning, he decided to conduct one last experiment. Standing outside a small upstairs bedroom, often called the center of the activity, he first checked carefully to show no one was inside, then closed the door firmly until it clicked shut. After knocking, something deeply unsettling occurred.
We're at 30 East Drive. We have literally just spent the night here. And we're packing up, ready to go. So we thought we'd try one last thing. The knocking on Emma's room. This ain't my first rodeo. So Emma's room. Small child's room. No one behind the door. No one under the bed. No one under the bed. Okay. Get off me. Right. Emma, can you open this door for me, please? All night we were trying to get it to do that and it wouldn't. One more time for me, please, Emma. Can hear you in there. Can you open this door for me? We'd really appreciate it if you could open the door. Thank you. All night we were trying to get it to do it and it wouldn't do it.
Within seconds, the door slowly swung open on its own. To rule out chance, Adam closed it again, ensuring it was fully latched. He knocked a second time, and once more, the door clicked shut and then opened by itself. No one was inside, and no explanation could account for it. So, what do you think? Paranormal, or something else entirely? A construction worker on the night shift captured something unusual on camera. The footage, shared by a security employee at the site, reportedly left other workers uneasy, worried they might encounter the same strange event.
So I work security at this construction site, right? We got all the trucks. We got these real things right here. There you go. One of these. These things are heavy. Just a little backstory. It was a construction worker that he needed help pushing one of these. He says a guy came up to him, another worker, and he says, I got you. Just guide me and I'll push it for you. So I said, okay, cool. So he was guiding him. He kept telling him, back it up, back it up, back it up. And he was pushing it. When they were done, he went around the reel to tell him thank you. And he says that he was gone.
While in the main office, the worker spots a memorial photo of past employees and notices it includes the man who had assisted him earlier. However, the photo indicates that the man died in 2015, leaving the question, who was actually helping him in the footage? In the footage, the man who had been helping suddenly vanishes. When the worker turns to thank him, he's gone, as if he disappeared into thin air. So what actually happened? Did he encounter the spirit of a former employee, or is there another explanation? TikTok user GC Chug shared a video after their dad made a strange discovery in their backyard, a car buried in the ground. There was no way to tell how long it had been there or what might be inside, and no markings or explanation were visible. Some think it could have been hidden intentionally, while others believe it's just an old vehicle slowly covered over time by natural land changes. Either way, finding something like that so close to home is unsettling. Just 6 months after moving into their new apartment, Joey Chelney and his family started noticing odd things happening. At first, it was minor stuff, doors slowly creaking open on their own, and cabinets closing without anyone near them. But soon, the occurrences became too strange to ignore. One afternoon, while feeding their cats, Joey heard music coming from his son's room, only to find a toy piano playing by itself. Perplexed, he decided to start recording the strange events.
I've been living in this apartment for about 6 months now. For the past 2 weeks, some weird things have been happening in our son's room. So I wasn't going to record, but I actually came here to feed the cats. We have 2 cats. So I came over to feed them, and I noticed that in his room, my son's room back here, there's one of my cats, I can hear his toy being played. and it was not on before. And it is playing right now. And I don't know why it's playing right now. I didn't leave it on. But even if I did leave it on, like, I'll turn it off. Even if I did turn it on, it wouldn't automatically play. You'd have to, even if I brush over the keys, it doesn't really go. So you'd have to really press the button and make it go. And it was not on, and it turned on, and I could hear it. And that's why I started recording. And now that I'm looking around, I was like, there's stuff knocked over. This plant's knocked over. This fake plant's knocked over. There's books on the ground. The wipes are on the floor. I don't know what is going on. And there is no one here. I am here by myself. There's nothing here. Did you see that? Am I insane? Am I insane? Someone just walked by the window. And I will go out there and show you that no one is here. This door is locked. This is the door you're just looking at. This door is locked. There's nothing out here. Nothing out here. There's a closet door. This is also locked. I don't think we've ever opened that door. It's always been locked. Just the weirdest things are.
That evening, Joey noticed something unsettling. A dark shadow drifted across the balcony window, even though their apartment was 12 feet off the ground and fully enclosed. Later, his unease deepened when he got a motion alert from the nanny cam. His stomach dropped as he opened the live feed.
And then the baby's hamper falls over. Like, what is going on? No one's there. What is happening?
In the corner of the room, the rocking chair began to sway on its own. Not a sudden jolt, but a slow, steady motion, as if someone unseen was sitting in it. Then, without any warning, the neatly stacked baby wipes on the dresser shot forward, scattering across the carpet as if an invisible hand had thrown them. After witnessing all of this that night, Joey realized they couldn't stay in the apartment any longer. A woman in Orange County, California, was taking a late-night walk when she began hearing loud, booming sounds coming from the sky.
So it's coming from.
At first, people thought it might be seismic activities or unusual atmospheric sounds, but that didn't fully explain it, especially since similar reports have come from other areas. Some suggest it could be a rare natural phenomenon, while others point to distant aircraft, sonic booms, or military activity. Either way, hearing such loud sounds with no clear source is unsettling. A woman working the night shift at a 911 dispatch center began noticing eerie activity inside the building. Late at night, when the emergency calls stopped and the hallways grew silent, strange occurrences started to take place.
Will not work again. Polter's acting up as we're now referring to her. Maybe it's somebody. I don't know. Nobody should be here. There's literally no one here.
Even though the phones weren't hooked up, they would ring and drawers would slowly slide open by themselves. In the quiet, she occasionally heard someone whisper her name. What unnerved her the most was that the activity began the same day her supervisor mentioned relocating the dispatch center, almost as if something inside didn't want them to move. One night while recording, she spotted what seemed to be a figure standing near the break room doorway.
Y'all have been following my polter diaries here lately. So I'm pretty sure there's something standing in the doorway to the break room. Am I crazy, or is that somebody standing there? Do y'all see that?
She stood frozen, unsure if her eyes were playing tricks on her. After sharing the footage online, viewers warned her not to engage with whatever it was. Her boss eventually ensured she wouldn't work alone, but even with someone else there, strange noises continued to echo through the hallways. With no intruders and no clear explanation, it's hard to tell whether it was stress and imagination, or if the building somehow retains the echoes of every desperate call made within it. A mother sits in her living room with her 2 daughters, everything appearing completely normal. Suddenly, the older daughter's face changes, as if she's seen something truly frightening. In the next room, take a closer look.
What are you doing? Oh, what, Nanny? Look at me. What are you scared of? The fish? Oh, the fish died. What? Angel's sleeping already. It's raining, girls. No. Nanny, are you almost done eating? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Nothing unusual can be seen on camera, yet the fear in her eyes is unmistakable. Her mother asks calmly what's wrong, but gets no clear answer. The younger daughter glances over and says, "There's nothing there," making it seem like it might just be her imagination. But a few seconds later, she looks again, and her reaction changes completely.
Turn around. Turn around. But you gotta listen to me. Turn around. Look at me. What's the matter?
Her face suddenly fills with pure terror, mirroring her sister's reaction. So, what did they both see that the camera couldn't capture? Or was it something only visible to them? Glenn, a paranormal investigator, got reports about an abandoned house in a remote village where strange, disturbing events reportedly occurred almost every night. Curious and determined to find out the truth, he decided to check it out himself. As he cautiously explored the dark, empty house, something unexpected happened.
Oh, il y a un bruit. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Quelqu'un? Abusé. Oh, la dinguerie. C'est qui là-bas? Y'a quelqu'un? Bon allez, je vais dire ça comme ça. Si c'est un démon, fais-moi bouger autre chose. Ah mais c'est obligé, y'a quelqu'un là-bas. Y'a quelqu'un qui se cache ici? Quelqu'un qui se cache ici, c'est obligé. Je suis entouré par un démon? Edgar? Edgar?
An object suddenly crashed to the floor right in front of him, and moments later, a smaller item nearby also tumbled down, as if an invisible presence had moved through the room. Shaken, the investigator hurried out, trying to remain composed, and went to check another part of the house. What his phone captured next was even more disturbing.
Qu'est-ce que c'est ça?
C'est un truc de fou, gros.
S'il y a une entité ici avec moi, fais-moi bouger autre chose, s'il te plaît.
Fais attention, mec. Fais gaffe.
Abusé. La dinguerie. Pour te rassurer, je suis là en paix. Et je suis en retour. Si c'est un démon, pour confirmer si c'est toi. Bouge-moi un objet.
Ouais, je pense que c'est un démon.
Confirme-moi que c'est toi. La dinguerie. Hallucinant.
After seeing all of this, the investigator was clearly terrified and didn't want to risk anything further, so he quickly left the house. One evening, a man was home alone when he suddenly started hearing strange knocking and faint scratching sounds coming from the basement. At first, he ignored it, thinking it wasn't anything serious, but as the noises kept repeating, unease set in, and feeling a mix of nervousness and curiosity, he grabbed his phone to start recording.
Hello? Hello? Keep hearing weird noises in the basement, Steve, so I just want to... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No way, no way, oh my god, oh my god. See, bro, there's nothing on this door. Hello? Yep.
As he cautiously approached the basement door, it suddenly creaked open on its own. No wind, no one nearby, nothing to explain it. The sound echoed through the silent house, and he immediately stepped back, too scared to go down. A few days later, things got even more unsettling. While alone, he heard the upstairs shower running and quickly grabbed his phone to start recording again.
Ooh. There's gotta be something.
When he got to the bathroom, the floor was completely soaked. Then, the shower curtain slowly slid open on its own, revealing nothing inside. So what was really happening? Was it an unseen presence, or something far more terrifying? This video comes from a TikTok account called Follow Pete and Ash, where a couple reports experiencing mysterious disturbances in their home for some time. One day, after hearing a knock at the door, they began recording, and what happened next is truly unsettling.
No, just stay upstairs, okay, Ash? No, stay upstairs.
I'm scared.
It stopped.
Babe, do you see anything?
I don't know, I don't see anything.
It sounds like it's on the porch.
I know it sounded right, like it was right outside.
Are we going down?
No, just stay up there. No, it doesn't look like it.
Oh my god, Peter!
Okay, no, I made sure. Make sure the door's locked.
What did you...
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything out there. I mean...
Curious and uneasy, they approach the door to see what's happening, but as they get close, the door suddenly shakes violently. Terrified by the sight, they decide not to open it. The next day, when the same thing happens again, they muster the courage to face it, slowly opening the door to finally reveal what's behind it.
No, just stay behind me, Ash.
Please.
No, just stay behind me. Snickers? Snickers? It stopped.
Where is she? Where did it go?
I don't know, it stopped.
Oh
inside. Get back inside. I don't know. It looked like a purse. It looked like a purse. Jesus. Stay back. Did you see its eyes? There was something wrong with its eyes.
A disturbing figure suddenly appears from behind the door and starts moving toward them. Panicked, they both sprint back inside the house. In the end, what exactly was that? Was it staged or something truly real? Reddit user Tarek Yunus, 90, and a friend were using the Randonautica app when it guided them to a forest. On previous trips, they had come across strange clues, like a basket hanging from a tree with a knife and a note containing coordinates, pointing them elsewhere. In this particular video, they encountered something new and unexpected.
Do you guys see what we're seeing right now? Oh, man. That's a spine, isn't it? Oh my god, look at this. What the?
Yeah.
And look, my camera's all tripping out now. It doesn't want to focus. I'm trying to show you guys. Look at this. Why is it? Look, every time I get close to it, my camera starts tripping out. Yeah, this is a bunch of pictures of spine. I had scoliosis. I had scoliosis when I was younger.
That right there, that's very sensitive information. It's protected by the HIPAA Act.
It is, I know. And how the hell did he get that? I don't even know if that's me or not.
They found what appeared to be a human spine hanging from a tree, surrounded by other unusual objects. Soon after, they felt like they were being followed and decided to leave. The original poster later clarified it wasn't a real spine, but a medical model, though it was still a strange and unsettling thing to come across in the forest, whether staged or not. A man had just moved into a new apartment, hoping for a fresh start. At first, everything seemed normal, until he noticed something odd about one of his neighbors. One evening, as he came home, he saw the neighbor standing outside his door. Trying to be polite, he greeted him, but the man didn't respond. Instead, he stood silently, making a strange twitching motion with his hand, before slowly retreating inside. The entire encounter left him feeling unsettled.
Là où j'habite. J'ai emménagé avant. Oh, je l'avais pas vu. Pardon. Je suis désolé. Je suis votre nouveau voisin. J'ai emménagé avant-hier. Du coup, enchanté. Tu sens ce malaise? Ça va, monsieur? Monsieur? Ça va? Il ne dit rien. Si vous avez besoin de quoi que ce soit, vous me dites, vous frappez, pas de souci. Regarde les doigts. Ça veut dire un truc. Ça va, monsieur? Bon. Bonne journée, du coup.
A few nights later, he came home to find the neighbor's door slightly ajar. Feeling uneasy, he grabbed his phone to record, and then something strange happened. Take a look.
Les gars, j'allais ressortir ma chienne. Mais j'ai retrouvé encore la porte comme ça. C'est pareil, on dirait qu'il n'y a personne. Je sais pas trop. Y'a quelqu'un? Jean-Luc? Je sais pas, c'est flippant. Ta mère! Oh la vache! Oh, je vais crever. Oh, je vais churer la fille.
Suddenly, the door slammed shut right in front of him, even though no one was visible behind it. The next day, he asked another resident about the man, and their response made the situation even creepier.
Du rez-de-chaussée. Si je peux vous parler 2 minutes, c'est par rapport à mon voisin de palier, là.
Ah ouais, le fou un peu.
Ouais. Pourquoi vous dites ça? Vous avez déjà vu des trucs?
Non, mais je sais pas, il est un peu bizarre pour le peu de fou.
Mais genre, vous avez vu quoi?
Je sais pas, elle est un peu possédée et tout, mais...
Possédée?
They explained that the neighbor avoids everyone and behaves very oddly. Then, one night around 4 a.m., loud scratching sounds came from outside his door. His dog started barking fiercely, but when he opened the door to investigate, there was nothing there.
Je sais pas si vous entendez, mais j'ose pas. J'ose pas aller voir. Ça s'arrête pas. Ah mais attends, je vais passer par mon jardin. Je vais essayer de filmer, attendez, bougez pas. Wow, je l'entends là le bruit. Pourquoi je suis en rouge comme ça? Je sais pas. Comment je fais pour retourner? Attends. Merde. Wow, cette porte elle est ouverte. Putain, il y a un trou dans mon jardin. Je sais pas si vous entendez. Il était genre 4h du matin, ça vient de me réveiller, putain. Oh, c'est qui là? Je vais me casse.
Now he's left questioning whether it's simply a bizarre neighbor or something much more unsettling. Ethan was spending his last few quiet days alone before his partner moved in, enjoying the peace, binge-watching shows, and relaxing without interruptions. Everything felt calm until something strange started happening. One late night, while in the living room, Ethan noticed the door handle twitching. At first, he dismissed it as his imagination, but soon it began shaking violently, accompanied by soft, deliberate knocks. His heart racing, he carefully opened the door, only to find it empty. The next day, the same thing happened in the bathroom, this time more intensely, prompting him to grab his phone and record everything. Over the following days, he continued filming, and during one recording, something briefly leaned out, watching him. When he checked, the space was empty, yet the feeling of being watched lingered. Tristan claimed that an unseen presence had been following him in his home. No matter what he tried, the activity always returned. One night, after hearing unusual noises from the bathroom, he grabbed his phone and started recording. The bathroom doorknob started twisting on its own, as if someone inside was trying to get out, but Tristan knew he was completely alone. As he stepped closer, the door creaked open by itself. Pointing the camera inside, he saw nothing and realized whatever was there wasn't human. A man living alone in a small apartment filled every corner with religious items, crosses, scriptures, and handwritten prayers. While it might look like deep devotion to outsiders, his constant praying began after a disturbing experience. Shortly after visiting his late father's grave, he started feeling as if something had followed him home. At first, it was subtle, soft noises at night, objects slightly out of place. One afternoon, he woke from a nap after hearing a metallic clatter.
Bueno, estoy grabando este video porque estoy tratando de dormir, pero acabo de escuchar un golpe duro por allá en la sala, entonces decidí grabar porque hace días que se viene presentando cosas extrañas en el apartamento. Son las 4 y cuarto, 4:13 de la tarde, entonces me parece muy extraño que hasta ahora estén sucediendo como cosas raras. Entonces, comedor. Miren, es en el comedor. Tengo las ventanas cerradas. Miren. Nada. Esto viene sucediendo hace como una semana ya. Pues la verdad se me hace muy extraño. Se me hace muy extraño que esté pasando cosas.
When he looked, the kitchen utensils were moving on their own, quietly swaying without any wind or open windows. A few days later, the situation intensified. While filming himself praying, he firmly told the unseen presence to leave.
En el nombre de Jesús te ordeno que te vayas. En el nombre de Jesús ordeno que te vayas. No tienes derecho de estar aquí. Ordeno que te vas. Ordeno que te vas en el nombre de Jesús.
The room went silent, and then, suddenly, a piano key behind him pressed down on its own, the sharp note ringing through the apartment. Frozen for a moment, he bolted in panic, but it didn't end there. A few nights later, around 3 a.m., he and his girlfriend awoke to chaos in the kitchen.
Bueno, voy a grabar este video porque nuevamente se están escuchando en el apartamento ruidos. Son las 3 de la mañana con 16 minutos y...
Escucha, escucha, escucha.
Sí, amor, sí, se escucha. ¿Es en la sala?
Sí. Escucha, escucha.
Esta vez no estoy solo, esta vez estoy con mi novia que por fin decidió venir a acompañarme, pues estaba asustada debido a todas estas cosas que están pasando. ¿Dónde es eso, amor?
La cocina.
¿Qué fue eso?
¿Se cayó?
Yo voy a mirar. ¿Qué es aquí, amor? ¿Qué es aquí?
No.
Señor bendito. Amor, quédese acá, quédese acá, yo voy solo, amor.
No, yo no.
Prenda la luz, prenda la luz. Se ve todo tranquilo por acá. En el nombre de Jesús, manifiéstate. Parece que es en la cocina. En el nombre de Jesús, manifiéstate. Vaya para el cuarto, amor.
No.
¿Qué fue eso? ¿Estás viendo, amor? ¿Estás viendo? No, es en la cocina, amor. Cuidado con la cocina. Manifiéstate en el nombre de Jesús. Te ordeno que te manifiestes. ¿Qué fue lo que sonó así ahorita, no?
Una cocina.
Mierda. Mira, amor, mira. Mira esa, ¿no? Es un vaso. Es un vaso. Mira, todos los cajones están abiertos. ¿Qué pasa aquí?
The wind chimes shook violently, and things were knocked over on the floor. There were no signs that anyone had broken in, but his girlfriend started feeling sick. Then, late at night, heavy footsteps came rushing toward him from the dark. Before he could react, an invisible force hit him. There was no one there, but something clearly was. Since then, he hasn't stopped praying because whatever followed him home never left. A woman had just started her early morning shift in a large office building. It was still dark, and she was the only employee there. While working on the lower floor, a sudden loud noise echoed from upstairs. Either something had fallen or someone was there. Feeling uneasy, she grabbed her phone and cautiously made her way upstairs, recording everything. A strange pain sound, like quiet crying, filled the dining area as she stepped in. Trying to stay calm, she rushed back to the elevator, but fast footsteps came from the hallway just before the doors closed. Inside, her heart racing, she glanced at her phone and froze at the reflection, a pale face with dark, hollow eyes staring right behind her. After that night, she refused to work alone. Was she truly alone? Dennis was outside a closed restroom in a quiet medical building, chatting with his colleague Deborah, when suddenly a loud bang erupted from behind the door, as if something heavy had smashed against the porcelain. The sound was so shocking that it immediately froze them in place.
Aqui, viu? Não tem. Oi. Olha aí, olha aí. Não, sabe, deixa eu ver se tem alguém aqui dentro. Tá vendo? Não tem ninguém aqui dentro. Rapaz.
Startled, Dennis lifted his camera, and together they slowly opened the restroom door, expecting to find someone inside. But the room was empty. Just a toilet, a sink, and silent walls greeted them. Nothing was broken, nothing out of place. Feeling unsettled, Dennis came back the next day to investigate further, this time starting to record before approaching that same door.
Acontece no meu plantão, parte 2. Tem ninguém aqui dentro, ninguém. Vou fechar aqui, deixar escoradinho aqui, ó. Ó. Tenha calma, você fecha já. Ó. Ó, sozinho. Ó, não tem ninguém aqui, ó. Rapaz. É incrível. Aí, ó. Maçaneta mexendo. Fecha aí, olha. Fecha a porta, vai. Feche. Feche. Tá vendo? Tem ninguém perto da porta, ninguém. Ó. Ó a maçaneta.
He slowly filmed every corner of the restroom to prove there was nowhere anyone could be hiding. Then, stepping back into the hallway, he left the door slightly ajar on purpose. After a few tense seconds of silence, the door began to move on its own, gently swinging shut and clicking as if something inside had pulled it. So, what do you make of it? Was it a demonic spirit or something else entirely? Around 6:40 a.m., Jose decided to explore an abandoned hospital, expecting it to be completely silent. But as he ventured further inside, steady, deliberate sounds began echoing through the halls. Uneasy, he slowly aimed his camera down a long hallway, and that's when something truly strange occurred.
Don't worry.
A pale, mist-like figure drifted silently across the corridor, and just seconds later, a door at the far end slammed shut on its own. There was no one else in sight and no breeze to explain it. Shaken by what he had seen, Jose didn't stick around. He quickly left the building, unsure of what he had just experienced. Late at night, a man was alone in his house when an uneasy feeling settled over him. The silence felt heavy, and he couldn't shake the sense that he was being watched. Grabbing his camera, he started recording, hoping to capture whatever was causing the fear. As he moved cautiously through the house, he suddenly glanced out a window and froze.
Está casi al techo. No es altísimo.
Near the wall, a tall, shadowy figure draped in what looked like a dark cloak stood completely still. It didn't move at all. Shocked but intrigued, he mustered the courage to open the door and take a closer look. The figure remained for a moment, then vanished silently within seconds. No footsteps, no exit, nothing to explain it. So, what had he really seen? And was it ever human at all? Around 9:35 p.m., a home security camera starts recording inside a quiet house. Everything seems normal at first, until a faint crying sound is heard nearby. A man narrates what he's hearing, then slowly turns the camera toward the television to show that the noise isn't coming from a movie or any background audio.
Normal en mi casa.
Me acuerdo de cada expresión en su cara.
Bueno, me encuentro viendo una película, ya casi van a ser las 10 de la noche. Y
Yo lo sé.
escuché cosas allá en la cocina y mire, están todos los cajones de arriba abiertos y pues
Cuando todos también la pasan total se impactan contra ti.
pensé que no iba a suceder nada hoy, pero
Es la verdad. Peleamos esa semana, ¿lo olvidaste? Ustedes tuvieron un épico verano. Y eso jamás lo olvidaré.
deja de huella en la cocina.
Sí. Yo no lo olvidaré y solo era un espectador celosa. No puede ser. Es mi primer día de huelga y ya estoy hecha un bodrio. Es cierto. Es la verdad.
Esos cabrones se están moviendo solos.
Escuché lo que pasó, Tessa. No, lo lamento mucho. Si fueras mi hija, te diría que lo usaras.
As he stepped closer, one of the cabinet doors suddenly slammed shut with a loud bang. Startled but intrigued, he moved forward, only for another cabinet to snap closed right in front of him. Then a third door violently slammed as if reacting to his presence. Trying to stay composed, he opened each cabinet to reveal they were empty. No pets, no objects, nothing that could explain the movements. Whatever was causing it clearly didn't care about remaining hidden anymore. Late at night, a taxi driver was recording his usual shift, chatting casually with his viewers as he drove through quiet streets. At first, everything seemed normal, just another routine ride on empty roads under dim streetlights. But then, something unusual occurred.
Saan po kayo, ma'am? Scott Barrio? Sige pa. Diyos ko po. Wala. Multa ata yung nasakay ko ah.
Suddenly, one of the car doors slowly unlocked and opened on its own. Even though there was no passenger nearby, the driver immediately noticed and looked around, confused. What made it even stranger was how he reacted. He started speaking as if someone had just entered the car, yet the dashcam showed no one outside or getting in. The road was empty. Still, he continued driving as if a passenger were sitting behind him. Moments later, everything seemed normal again, but the mystery lingered. Was someone invisible riding with him, or was it something else entirely? This eerie encounter happened to a woman hiking along a quiet wooded trail on the edge of a remote area. What was meant to be a peaceful walk quickly took a completely unexpected turn.
Hola. Ay, no mames. Güey, ¿qué pedo? No mames, no mames. ¿Qué se oye?
She quietly said, "Hello?" and her heart began to race. Thinking it might be someone lost or hiding, she called out to ask who was there. Instead of a normal response, the voice replied with something far more unsettling. "Come here." Panic set in immediately. The voice didn't sound right. Days later, she returned with friends, hoping for answers, but whatever she had heard that day was gone. This clip is from a Japanese ghost channel showing a photographer exploring empty tunnels late at night. At first, everything seems calm and quiet, but as he goes deeper, he suddenly hears a strange noise behind him. He quickly turns around, but there's nothing there. Trying to ignore it, he keeps moving forward, only for the same sound to happen again, this time much closer. When he turns around again, a dark, human-like figure is standing there, motionless as if it's watching him. Terrified, he bolts out of the tunnel. Just moments before, the tunnel had been empty. So, what was following him? A content creator named Gage recorded a late-night video in his kitchen, not expecting to capture anything terrifying. Around 1:30 a.m., he noticed unusual activity in the room and decided to keep his camera rolling.
Dude,
At first, it was minor, lights flickering slightly, something most would ignore. But moments later, the ceiling lights began swaying unnaturally, as if pushed by an invisible force. Gage grew nervous, sensing something was wrong, and then a loud crash shattered the silence as multiple kitchen items tumbled to the floor. With no one else in the house, what started as a simple recording became undeniable evidence that something unseen was moving around him. A man was walking through his colony with his daughter when she suddenly pointed out something strange, a creepy, shadowy figure in a window. What he recorded next is truly shocking.
What the hell is going on? Tell you I saw something right here. But it's inside now. Tap it on the window out. There.
Yeah.
Top window.
Yeah.
Bottom window. Bottom window.
I can only see it on
What the hell does its face look like? Oh, man, it disappeared. Bottom window.
I can only see it on
What the hell does its face look like? Oh, man, it disappeared. Top window. Right.
Oh my god.
The hell is it? Can zoom in on this?
Oh, gone.
The shadow from the upper window suddenly shifts to the lower window within seconds, then vanishes only to reappear in the upper left window. Terrified, the man and his daughter ran away immediately. What this was remains a complete mystery. A man started recording unusual events in the house he shared with 2 roommates and his cat. One night, it began when a door suddenly slammed shut right in front of him, even though no one else was home. Take a look at the door.
There's pocket sounds in the door. That was so close door. There's a ringing again.
After that, the disturbances grew impossible to ignore. Loud bangs echoed through the house, doors rattled, and footsteps seemed to move from room to room whenever he was alone. His roommates dismissed it as normal old house noises, but the activity kept escalating. Whatever was in the house was making its presence known. While taking a break near a river in Oregon, a man spotted a figure moving across the water. The creature was tall, broad, and covered in thick hair. Oregon is known for Bigfoot sightings, so local cryptid enthusiasts take encounters like this seriously. The man managed to snap a photo before it vanished into the trees. Could this be proof? A group of Bigfoot enthusiasts headed to Sasquatch Canyon, a place long rumored to show signs of the elusive creature. Walking along the water's edge, they scanned the sand for unusual markings and soon spotted a massive footprint, about 17 inches long and 8 inches wide, much bigger than a human foot. The area had a history of similar discoveries, with previous visitors finding tracks of all sizes, leading some to believe a whole family of creatures might live in the canyon. A woman running the TikTok account Saritao86 uploaded a strange video. In it, she's alone in a private area when she suddenly hears a noise from another room. Feeling uneasy, she turns on her phone camera and begins recording.
Me puse muy nerviosa, no sé qué era. Y es que estoy sola. Ay, no puede ser. Este es uno de los cuartos que más me intriga. Oigan. Ay, no mames. ¿Qué podrá ser? No hay nadie. No hay nadie ahí. No sé qué puedo hacer. Este es uno de los cuartos que más me intriga. Ay, no, ya me está dando miedo. Este cuarto, no sé qué era aquí. No sé qué hacían aquí. Escucharon los pasos.
As she slowly pans the camera toward the room ahead, a figure can be seen standing there, though she doesn't seem to notice it. What happens next, however, is even more terrifying.
Pero miren, está oscuro. No sé qué era. ¿Hello? Chingados es eso. Ay, no. Les voy a grabar rápido y me voy porque aquí es donde más me da miedo. No tengo ni idea de qué era aquí esta área, qué era lo que hacían aquí. Y es que aquí muere mucha gente. Mueren los viejitos que están enfermos, están solos. Uy, ¿qué es eso? ¿Escucharon? ¿Escuchó la silla? ¿Qué será? No sé si escucharon la silla. ¿Alcanzaron a escuchar la silla? No sé si fue el área de allá o esta de acá. Ay, no, ya me tengo que ir. Se está poniendo pesado. No mames. ¿Qué? Ay, no. ¿Cómo cerraron esta pinche llave? Luego les vuelvo a grabar la segunda parte. Me tengo que ir. Estoy en el asilo de ancianos. ¿Escuchan ese ruido? Chica, ¿qué es eso? Escucho mucho ruido. ¿Qué podrá ser?
Suddenly, the tap switched on by itself. The shocking part, no one was there. So, could it have been that figure causing it, or something else entirely? A trail camera run by the Bigfoot research group Bigfoot Evidence on Facebook caught a strange figure in a wooded area. The footage shows a small humanoid moving through the underbrush, initially resembling a juvenile Bigfoot. The figure is shorter than an adult and appears slightly hunched. Some think it could be a bear, noting its rounded shoulders and furry look, while others argue its proportions seem too human to be a typical animal. Since the exact location wasn't disclosed, it's difficult to completely rule out wildlife. Kate, a woman plagued by ongoing paranormal activity in her home, often stays awake long past midnight as a result. Recently, she managed to capture something unexplainable on video.
What's happening right now? First the door was moving, then I heard like someone talking, and then I keep seeing shadows. And for anyone who tells me I should go out, yeah, why don't you go out, please? It's over. Open up. It closed just before me. Shabran, holy. Today, I'm getting scared. And before anyone sees me. It's frickin' the middle of October in Pennsylvania. It's freezing out, so I have no windows open. I have one fan that circulates throughout the whole room, and that door has never done that. Like, it's moved by itself, but never slammed shut like that. I can't believe I just caught that on camera. What the actual... I can't believe I just caught that. Of course I'm alone. Yeah, Amy. Times.
This isn't the first time Kate has experienced strange occurrences. For months, objects have moved on their own, Lights flicker despite stable electricity, and she often feels someone standing right behind her. She's tried everything, cleansing rituals, switching bedrooms, even blessing the house, but nothing seems to stop it. After capturing new footage, she fears the presence is growing stronger, feeding on her fear. Some think a restless spirit is attached to the house, while others suspect something darker, possibly demonic, has taken hold. A father snapped a photo of his daughter at Tamworth Castle in Staffordshire, and at first, it looked completely normal. Later, while sharing it with family, he noticed something odd. Two unexplained figures appeared in the background. Neither he nor his daughter remembered seeing anyone there at the time. Tamworth Castle has a long history of strange reports and is even linked to a 9th century nun in local legends. Whether the figures are just pareidolia or connected to the castle's mysterious past, the photo adds another layer to its intrigue. In 2022, a hiker shared a photo online showing a figure whose face he couldn't see and couldn't identify. Feeling it wasn't safe to get closer, he snapped the picture and moved on. The body shape looked unusual and didn't clearly match a bear or any known ape. Some think it could be Bigfoot, though that doesn't quite fit either. No definitive explanation has ever been confirmed, and the image remains unidentified. What's your take? CCTV footage from deep within an old European sewer network captures a chilling scene. These tunnels, with a dark history of secret activities and unspeakable events, are said to still host ghostly silhouettes that vanish as quickly as they appear. In the clip, a figure resembling a woman suddenly emerges from the darkness near the tunnel's end, just before the lights flicker, as if reacting to her presence. She vanishes almost instantly, leaving no trace, and moments later, a dark shadow glides down the hallway in a way that defies explanation. For many, this is compelling evidence of a restless spirit haunting the underground passages. Jessel lived alone in Dallas, Texas, or so she believed. On the night of April 27th, the quiet in her room was suddenly disturbed by something outside her door, with the most unsettling detail appearing in the small gap beneath it.
Obviously, I'm not going to get up to see what it is, but I'm scared. I'm shaking with fear. If it happens, hey. No way. No way. I think there's someone behind the door or something. I'm scared.
Something shifts beneath the door, lingering just outside while Jessel stays frozen in fear, waiting for the right moment to bolt to her car. At first, she believes an intruder is inside the house, but what she later discovers is even more unsettling.
I don't know if it was my imagination or if I saw it wrong. But I ran away from it. Why? I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. It's 4 in the morning. But I know there was something there. I know I saw something, and I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
I have to go to work in a while, and I haven't slept at all. I'm nervous. I don't know what.
Jessel had advanced security cameras and motion sensors designed to detect any break-in, but that night, nothing was triggered, and the system showed no sign of anyone being inside. Still, she knew something was there. Terrified, she reached out to a friend who worked as an officer, and what she learned left her shaken. Since 2022, 3 people had died inside that same apartment within the very walls she now lived in.
I'm scared!
After that discovery, the activity only became more intense. Her cameras began moving by themselves, tracking something no one could see. Lights switched back on after being turned off, and doors moved as if pushed by unseen hands. One night, while Jessel was reading Psalm 91 for protection, an object suddenly flew off the table. Jessel can't leave, even if she wants to, locked into a lease and stuck inside an apartment where 3 unseen shadows seem unwilling to let her go. The man began recording strange activity inside the home he shared with 2 roommates and his cat. It started in 2020 when a door suddenly slammed shut in front of him with no wind, movement, or clear cause. After that, the activity seemed to grow, especially in the kitchen, where he kept hearing bangs, falling objects, and cabinet doors opening, even when no one was around. Hoping to figure out what was happening, he set up 2 phones, one in the kitchen and one in the hallway, both facing the kitchen door. Then he locked the house, switched off the heat to rule out drafts, and left with the others, keeping the place completely still. What the cameras recorded next was deeply disturbing. No one has been able to explain how the kitchen door moved on its own while the house was empty. It could have been a strange coincidence, or it may be evidence that something paranormal is lingering inside the home. On February 16th, 2016, YouTuber Pasty Pickle recorded something that had been troubling him for weeks. Not long after he moved in, a friend sensed something strange in the place. From that point on, he kept trying to capture proof on camera, until one day he finally managed to record it.
Something strange is happening at this window. Sometimes when you look outside, you'll notice a figure in the room. You'll see like a figure in the room, and there won't be anyone here. I'm going to try to prove that today. It might not work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Let's see what's going in here, just in case it does work. Go in the closet, you know. I hope we're allowed to debunk this. Alright. Alright. So like I said, it just happens to be the right circumstances or whatever. Sometimes you can see a figure outside the window. And let's see, today... Holy, the guy really showed up today. I got him on camera. No way. Wow. Okay, alright. Look, I'm gonna open the door to the room. This is what I'm struggling with. Hey guys, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, wow. It happened. Yeah, this is like an anomaly that happens at this window.
He first records from inside his room, trying to explain that a strange figure sometimes appears near his window, but nothing shows up from that angle. So he heads outside, aims the camera toward the upstairs window, and suddenly captures it. In the upper glass pane, a faint human-shaped figure can be seen standing still, almost as if watching from inside. His reaction sounds more excited than scared, which makes the moment feel even stranger. Some viewers believe it was a spirit tied to the house briefly showing itself, while others think it may have been a reflection, a lighting issue, or something on the wall. Still, the question of what was really inside that room remains unanswered. Patrick had never felt comfortable with his basement, but one night his curiosity pushed him to finally go inside. He shut the door behind him and started filming as he stepped into the unfinished space. With bare concrete walls, weak lighting, and a narrow hallway stretching way farther than expected, the place looked like something pulled from a nightmare. Everything about it felt made for a haunting. As Patrick moved toward the end of the hallway, something seemed to shift around the corner. His breathing became tense as he slowly stepped closer, trying to figure out what it was. But when he checked, there was nothing there, only empty walls, thick silence, and a strange presence hanging in the air. The recording ends there, though Patrick later said panic hit him the moment he stopped filming, and he rushed upstairs, believing something unseen was still down there. Reddit user Swill Merchants was hiking along the Arroyo Seco Trail in Pasadena, California, near the Colorado Street Bridge, often nicknamed Suicide Bridge, when something strange caught their attention. While passing beneath a footbridge, they spotted what appeared to be an upside-down pentagram marked in a dark, rusty brown substance that looked almost like dried blood. Around it were several other odd symbols, drawn with the same unsettling care. Some people dismissed it as mud, feces, or graffiti meant to scare hikers, while others noted that dried blood can darken over time, making the discovery feel even more disturbing. Naya and her family used cameras to record their everyday life, but one night the system suddenly glitched right as something appeared to move across their hallway.
It's bath time. Woo! It's Nasha. Cry, come here. Was it Darla? Who just came in here? No, someone just came in here. And then the rod moved. Didn't you see it? I just saw someone come in here.
Nia's husband suddenly felt an icy chill and noticed what looked like someone walking through the hallway. Yet the camera captured only strange interference and the carpet shifting, with no visible person anywhere in the house. Since no one else was inside, the moment remains unexplained, possibly a simple technical glitch or maybe the trace of something unseen. A trail camera hidden deep in the woods took a late-night photo that left people confused. At first glance, the image is hard to understand, but a pale, blurry shape can be seen standing in the darkness, far enough away to remain unclear. Some think it was simply a person passing through, while others believe it looked like something not fully human. Either way, the image is unsettling because even if it were a real person, the question remains: why would anyone be out there alone in such a remote place at that hour? On May 11th, 2008, YouTube user Nick Dude was casually filming his little sister Beth in their father's living room. She cheerfully answered him while watching TV, completely unaware of the disturbing figure appearing at the window behind her.
Hello.
What are you doing? Watching TV. What are you watching?
For a brief moment, a blurry white shape drifts past the window behind her. It's quick enough to miss, but once noticed, it changes the entire feel of the clip. Some believe it was a spirit moving through the backyard, while others think it may have been a person or a reflection distorted by the lighting. Either way, the timing is what makes the footage so unsettling. For a long time, a woman had been hearing strange footsteps on her staircase, but this time she finally caught something on camera. What appears in the footage is deeply unsettling, turning her usual fear into something far more chilling.
Thank you, Al.
At first, the footage only shows faint glowing orbs drifting through the air, moving too slowly and strangely to feel like simple dust. Night after night, the same activity continues. Soft sounds on the stairs, quiet movement, and small lights wandering with purpose. For weeks, nothing goes beyond that, until one night the activity suddenly changes into something far more disturbing.
The stars are flying!
Something began moving up the stairs, slowly and unnaturally. Moments later, a chair in the corner slid across the floor on its own, making it clear this was no longer just fear or imagination. Some viewers believe the presence could be the spirit of an elderly person who once lived in the house, while others think it may be a residual haunting, like an old moment trapped on repeat. A few even suggest the house itself is replaying pieces of its past. Whatever the cause, the activity was clearly getting stronger, spreading beyond the staircase and now disturbing their sleep. One night, at exactly 2:47 a.m., a sudden sound jolted her awake. Some paranormal investigators believe staircases can act like pathways where trapped energy gathers between this world and the next. Others think the activity could be something far more sinister, possibly an entity copying human footsteps to draw attention before showing its real nature. But the detail that disturbed viewers most was easy to miss. The rhythm of the steps didn't sound fully human. Each one was uneven, almost like something was still learning how to walk. Until stronger evidence appears, the presence remains a disturbing mystery, growing more frightening with every night. Ray decided to stay overnight in a Texas hotel known for its haunted reputation and dark energy. He booked the room most guests avoided, the one filled with porcelain dolls that seemed to stare no matter where he stood. While looking around, one doll caught his eye, sitting on a small antique toy vehicle, like part of a strange display. Then it appeared to move slightly, and Ray quickly started recording, capturing something he still struggles to explain.
This doll moved.
This doll moved.
This doll moved.
The doll's head slowly shifted until its glassy eyes were staring straight at Ray, almost like it had noticed him. The movement was subtle, but clear enough to feel real, and its face looked unsettlingly lifelike for a simple toy. After that, Ray said he couldn't stay in the room. The quiet suddenly felt thick and uncomfortable, and even on camera, the doll seemed strangely aware, like it knew exactly what had just happened. A couple was hiking near Klingman's Dome along a quiet forest trail when they spotted a figure silently watching them from a distance. Uneasy, but trying to stay calm, they kept walking and hoped it was only an animal, but the figure didn't leave. Moments later, it stepped out into the open, freezing them in place. They managed to take a photo of what looked like an 8-foot-tall shape, adding yet another strange, Bigfoot-like sighting that remains impossible to prove. At the beginning of this year, after several heavy snowstorms, a set of unusually large footprints was found in the snowy woods of New York. The prints looked almost human, but their size and shape seemed far too big for any normal person. Wildlife experts suggested they may have been made by a bear, although the long, human-like appearance didn't really match typical bear tracks. While the footprints looked like they could have been left by some mysterious creature moving through the snow, the most likely explanation was probably just nature creating something strange looking. An urban explorer steps inside an abandoned building, a crumbling place forgotten by time. According to him, what happened inside became the most terrifying experience he had ever faced in 5 years of exploring haunted and abandoned locations. Without warning, faint music started drifting through the same hallway he had passed only minutes earlier, even though it had been silent before. It didn't sound like random noise either. It carried the eerie depth of an orchestra echoing through the empty building. He froze, trying to make sense of it as fear and logic fought in his mind. At first, he didn't think of ghosts, only that someone or something had to be playing it. But after grabbing his gear and getting out, curiosity later pushed him to research the place. What he found shocked him. The building was locally known as one of the most haunted spots in the region, with stories of ghostly music and strange sounds going back for decades. After that night, he swore never to return, leaving behind the question of whether it was only an old hallway carrying echoes, or something paranormal still performing in the dark. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.